Carrying. Carrying techniques are essential in emergency situations as they allow for the safe and efficient transportation of the injured individuals. By minimizing movements, preventing further injury, and facilitating timely medical care, carrying techniques play a crucial role in providing immediate assistance and promoting the well-being of the injured person. It's performing ankle pull. Grabs the victim by either ankles or pant cuff. Try to keep the pull as straight and in line as possible. Keep aware that the head is unsupported and may bounce over bumps and surface imperfections. Shoulder pull. Grabs the victim by the clothing under the shoulders. Keep your arms on both sides of the head and then support the head. And also try to keep the pull as straight and in line. This blanket pull. Place the victim on the blanket by using the log roll of the three-person left. The victim is placed with the head approx 2 feet from one corner of the blanket. Wrap the blanket corners around the victim and then keep your back as straight as possible. Use your legs, not your back. Try to keep the pull as straight as in line as possible. One person left. This only works with a child or a very light person. Place your arms under the victim's knees and around their back. Next is piggyback carry. Squat slightly and then place both the victim's arms over your shoulder and then balance the load on your hips and support the victim with your legs. Human crutch or two-person drag. Start with the victim on the ground and then both rescuers stand on either side of the victim's chest. Then place the victim's arms over their shoulders so that they end up facing the same direction as the victim. Then using their legs, they stand with the victim. The rescuers then move out, dragging the victim's legs behind. And then the four-handed. Position the hands as indicated in the graphic. Lower the seat and allow the victim to sit. Lower the seat using your legs, not your back. When the victim is in place, stand using your legs, keeping your straight back. Chair carry. Pick the victim up and place them or have them sit in the chair. For short distance or stair wheels, the second rescuer should face in the gaps of the chair legs. Improvised stretcher. This technique requires two poles pipes strong enough to support the victim's weight and at least two shirts. And then the rescuers then reverse the procedure and switch sides. Hammock carry. Reach under the victim and gaps one rest on the opposite rescuer. The rescuer on the ends will only be able to gaps one rest on the opposite rescuer. The rescuers will then squat and lift the victim on the command of the person nearest the head, remembering to use proper lifting techniques. Three-person or stretcher. This technique is for lifting patient onto a bed or stretcher or for transporting them in short distances. Each person kneels on the knee nearest the victim's feet. On the command of the person at the head, the rescuers lift the victim up and rest the victim on their knees. Blanket carry. This is an effective method for eluding or moving a casualty in confined space. Make a stretcher ready using one blanket. Roll a blanket lengthways or half of its width and lay the rolled section along the side of the casualty. And then the sides of the blanket are rolled up close to the casualty's body to provide hand grips for the bearers. On the orders from the leader, the casualty is lowered onto the stretcher. The blanket carry can also be used as an improvised stretcher for carries over moderate distances.
Third is artificial respiration. Artificial respiration, also known as rescue breathing, holds significant importance in emergency response and first aid. Artificial respiration is a critical skill that can make life-saving difference in emergency situations by restoring breathing, delivering oxygen, and sustaining life. Artificial respiration plays a crucial role in providing immediate care and support to individuals in respiratory distress or cardiac arrest. It is an essential skill for anyone involved in emergency response, healthcare, or even everyday situation where immediate assistance may be required.
Coffer's method. In 1910, candidates were required to use this Coffer method or prone pressure method of resuscitation, where victims were laid face down and compression applied to the middle of the back. This was done to expel air from the lungs. Upon release of pressure on the back, the air would return to the lungs. In this method, the victim is made to lay on his belly with one arm extended directly overhead and the other arm bent at the elbow. The face is torn outward and resting on the forearm. Holger-Nelson method. Turn the patient head to one side, bend his or her elbows and rest the head to his or her palm. Then compress the patient's back to expel the air and pull his elbow and upper body up to allow air going in. Sylvester method. A method of artificial respiration in which the subject is laid on his or her back and air is expelled from the lungs by pressing the arms over the chest. The fresh air drawn in by pulling them above the head. In Sylvester method, the victim was placed face up and the shoulder were elevated to allow the head to drop backward. The rescuer kneeled the victim's head facing him, grabbed the victim's wrist and crossed them over to the victim's lower chest. Mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Mouth-to-mouth resuscitation is a part of most protocols for performing cardiopulmonary resuscitation or CPR, making it an essential skill or first aid. In some situations, mouth-to-mouth resuscitation is also performed separately, for instance, in near drowning and opiate overdoses. Mouth-to-mouth breathing is very effective in delivering oxygen into the person's lungs without putting the rescuer at a high level of risk. The rescuer's exhaled air contains approximately 17% oxygen and 4% carbon dioxide.